Goodbye, Mrs. Davidson. And thank you for all your help.
Goodbye and good luck.
Mr. Fletcher, I'll never be able to thank you for what you've done for Danny.
The only thanks I need is to never see you in here again.
Don't worry, you won't. Oh, you wait until you see the flat, Mum. It is fantastic. It's got a lounge room, 2 bedrooms, and a balcony. It's even got a separate car park for all the tenants.
Oh.
The furniture, it's not that good, you know, but we can paint it and you could make some new covers for it.
Yeah. Now, Mr. Fletcher, I seem to recall a conversation we had about prison officers not becoming personally involved with inmates or their families.
The day you see me getting serious with a dog like that, give us a nudge, will you?
You poor bugger. The things you got to do to earn a buck.
Oh, you can laugh. You don't have to put up with a boring bitch. What's the news?
Mr. McNally heard she was out on bail. He's a little bit concerned.
Tell him not to worry. She hasn't talked.
You sure?
She's in love with me. But I don't think we can run the risk of her walking around the streets with the cops on her tail.
Mr. McNally would agree with you. He feels a little accident might be good insurance.
She's all yours.
Asleep? What about the cops?
She gave him the slip.
That was kind of her. Well, if you've finished with her,
be my guest.
You don't want to disturb anyone this time of night, Miss Morris.
We're the police. I know. You've got a powerful knee there.
I thought you were going to kill me.
Well, I can't say it didn't cross my mind. Come on, Miss Morris.
I suppose Linda's in her own bed by now.
Don't be stupid. Nobody on the outside goes to bed this early.
Yeah, I suppose so. I reckon young Danny turned up for her. He sounds a nice young kid. I'd love to have seen him. Don't suppose you should bring kids into a place like this.
Why not? Linda would have still been inside now if it hadn't have been for you.
And I would have croaked it if it hadn't been for her. That bloody Kay was throttling me. No, I don't suppose you should have kids in a place like this. Oh. Come on, Dor. You gotta stop thinking about that baby.
Wasn't really a baby, Lizzie. Still had a long way to go.
Yeah. But kids can make a lot of trouble for you, Dor. They can sometimes bring you a lot of misery.
Still would have been mine, though.
God, you're young. There are other blokes besides Kev. There'll be other kids.
People like me don't get lucky twice.
Oh, you get on my wick sometimes. What do you mean, people like you?
I'm never going to win, Lizzie. Maybe it's because I'm stupid or something, I don't know. All I know is I've never been a winner, and I'm never going to be.
Oh, don't be such a ratbag. Get to sleep.
Hey, Laura. Well, at least you're in one piece. Oh, you don't know how worried I've been.
I'm sorry, Daddy.
Well, thank God you're home anyway.
I'm afraid she can't stay.
What are you going to do with her?
She's got to go into protective custody. We'll arrange for your bail to be returned.
Well, I'd rather you arrange for my daughter to be returned.
You better go and pack, Tracey.
You're afraid she's going to dodge you again, is that it?
No, not at all. She's got nowhere to go, believe me. Not after the name she just gave us. All the biggest drug connections.
I can't believe Tracey would know such people.
Well, she did know them. She just thought they were business connections of her old mate Joe.
Joe?
You don't know about Joe Vella? Well, he has a way with him, has Joe. Especially with silly young girls.
Where are you going to take her?
Back to Wentworth.
Do you have to?
I'd rather not, but the governor does assure me she'll put on special security precautions. She'll be safe there. Right then?
Could I have a word with my father?
Okay, I'll wait in the hall.
Dad, I'm sorry. Did they tell you about Joe?
Yeah, they mentioned it, which is more than you did.
You wouldn't have liked him. I couldn't tell you.
Did he get you into this?
He said he loved me.
You little idiot.
I didn't know. I swear I didn't have a clue.
We must go.
Yeah. Well, I never thought I'd be glad to see you back in Wentworth. Come on.
Tracey, what are you doing here?
Hello, Mrs. Jackson.
Right, Mrs. Jackson, sign on the dotted, will you?
What's she doing here? I mean, what's she charged with?
We're calling it protective custody. Seems we got to protect her even from her own friends.
Tracey, what happened? You all right?
She's all right. Only got herself to blame. Now, look, Tracey, you think you've told us everything. If you think of even one more thing, you let me know. Right. She's all yours.
Thank you. I'm sorry about what happened to the detective.
Yeah.
Tracey, what have your friends got to do with this?
It was awful, Mrs. Jackson. They were going to kill me.
Who was?
He said that he loved me. Then I heard him talking to someone. I thought they were talking about some slut. But it was me, Mrs. Jackson.
Come on. It's over now and you're safe. Yeah, that's the main thing, isn't it? Good. But I'm afraid you still have to go through the formalities. So you'll have to go and take a shower.
Oh, is B. Smith out of solitary yet?
I'd forgotten about her. Anyway, that's my problem. You go and take a shower. Oh, there you are. Here. Let me help you. You take that in.
Is it true, Mrs. Jackson?
What?
B. Smith's out of solitary tomorrow.
You've got to get a good sleep and let tomorrow take care of itself.
How old was her daughter?
18, I think.
No wonder she hates pushers.
Well, it's not a very nice trait.
Mrs. Jackson, I swear I didn't know.
You prove that in court, and you'll be home free.
It's proving it to B. Smith that matters.
You'll be seeing Mrs. Davidson in the morning. I don't want you to talk to anybody until then.
But they'll see me at breakfast.
You'll be having breakfast in here. Now, you try and get some sleep. Good night.
Yeah, we thought you disappeared down a black hole.
I was beginning to feel that way myself.
Did you hear about Kay?
Yeah, the message got through. They said you did it.
I'll tell you all about it later.
Yeah, well, she got what was coming to her, whoever did it. Well, who's been keeping this warm for? Doreen.
So you've noticed I'm here?
Yeah, I've got a bone to pick with you two. What's this I hear about you losing a kid? I can't turn my back on you for 1 minute.
It's been awful, B. I haven't got anybody now. Nobody wants me.
Oh, come on now. Stop that whinging. That's not going to do you any good. You've had good mates all your life and you always will have. I don't want to hear any more of this nonsense about no one loves you. Okay?
Okay. It's good to have you back, B.
Yeah, well, someone isn't going to think so, and that's whoever helped set me up.
Kay didn't need any help. She was a loner.
She must have got the dope from somewhere, the stuff she gave Mouse. Someone's trafficking in here, and I'm going to find out who.
Well, there's only one pusher, Tracey Morris.
Oh, she's not a real pusher, B. She just got conned.
That's right. She was the Patsy. She didn't know what she was carrying.
I know why you're sticking up for her.
You might think you know.
Judy's found a new girlfriend.
Oh, my, the joint has been jumping while I was tucked away.
Look, I felt sorry for her, that's all. She's got a lot of enemies in here. But she doesn't go about making enemies like some people do.
Ready?
Been dreading this.
Oh, come on, you'll be fine.
Is that supposed to be reassuring?
Yes.
Well, thanks for trying. Does B. Smith know I'm back yet?
No, not yet.
Thank God for that.
You'll feel better after you've seen Mrs. Davidson. She runs Wentworth, you know, not B. Go on.
Sit down, Morris. You have talked to Inspector Grace, I understand.
Yes.
Good. That will be taken into consideration when you come up for trial.
Mrs. Davidson, the police said I'd be safe in here.
You will be.
Not with B. Smith after me, I'm not.
Excuse me, Mrs. Davidson. Couldn't we put her in isolation?
Well, I don't see how we can. Half the staff are down with flu. We can't just put you there and forget about you. We'll have to make sure she's watched at all times.
What about Kay White? She was killed, and I've heard there were others.
To whom have you been speaking?
Well, it's general knowledge, isn't it?
Well, if prisoners have met with accidents at Wentworth, it is because they've done precisely what you are doing now. They did not inform the officers that they were under threat. Am I getting through to you?
Yes, Mrs. Davidson.
We all know what B. Smith is like, but with your cooperation, we can make sure she is our problem and not yours. But you must keep all lines of communication open. Do you understand?
Yes, Mrs. Davidson.
And you will do that? Take her back, Mrs. Jackson.
Well, what have we in here?
Oh, it's a little dirt pusher back again, is it?
Thought your daddy paid your bail.
What are you doing back here again?
Yeah, where'd they find you this time? Peddling dope in a schoolyard?
Hey, why don't you pick on someone your own size?
Who's picking? I'm just passing the time of day.
Uh-huh. Well, if you're interested in getting back in solitary, there are 3 screws heading this way.
Okay. For now, anyway.
Aren't you gonna wallop her?
You right for overtime next Friday, Mick?
Have I any choice?
Well, if you break a leg, you might just get out of it.
You've been pretty lavish with the overtime, haven't you, Jim?
Can't be helped. 4 people in Block H are down with the flu.
Yes, we haven't got the personnel to keep Tracey Morris in isolation.
It's the last thing we need right at this moment is a special case.
Wentworth Detention Centre.
Oh, is that Mrs. Jackson?
Yes.
Oh, that's a relief. Look, this is Bob Morris. I'd like to know when I might be able to see Tracey again.
Well, she's only allowed 1 visit a week, and you've already exceeded that, Mr. Morris.
Yeah, but she's pretty distressed, and I'd like to show a little solidarity.
Well, you can call again next week.
Not before then?
Well, why don't you call in tomorrow, and I'll see what I can arrange.
Thanks. Look, I hate to impose, but could you tell her I rang?
Was there any particular message?
We're not an answering service.
Just tell her to remember aniseed.
Oh, I couldn't pass on anything that could be code.
Oh, no. Aniseed was the name of her pony when she was little. She'll tell you.
All right. Remember aniseed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Remember what?
Remember that I'm fed up to here with overtime when you're making out those rosters, Jim.
So, it didn't go too well, eh?
I couldn't wait to get to him. I kept thinking once I saw Joe it would be all right, that he would take care of me.
But no dice, eh?
He planned to take care of me all right. I heard him tell this guy I had to be killed.
What? Tracey, didn't you have any idea what this guy was like?
I loved him.
Well, love isn't always the best judge of character, you know.
I think what a fool I've been. Walking through customs with all that heroin. No wonder the inspector didn't believe me. How can anyone be so dumb? Now I'm back here and B. Smith's going to kill me.
Don't worry about that. Look, I'll talk to her. She might understand.
Tracey, your father rang. He said to... Do you ever have a pony?
I did when I was 10.
What was his name?
Aniseed.
Why would your father say, remember aniseed?
Oh, Aniseed was special. She was all heart. She never gave up. Whenever things got tough, Dad always said, remember Aniseed.
I see. Well, that was his message.
Your dad sounds a nice guy.
It's up to you, isn't it?
Why me?
No, I can't do it. The screws are hanging around me thick as flies, just waiting for me to make a move.
Look, she's a pusher, sure. But it's no skin off my nose. I don't want to end up in the pound again.
Who do you think sent you there last time?
Kay White set me up.
With a little help from her friend.
What friend?
Well, who do you suppose got the drugs in here that Kay was selling for gambling money? And who set the ball rolling to have us put in the pound?
She did. Morris?
She's the only one with dealer connections.
So you think she was Kay's offsider?
Wouldn't surprise me one little bit. Now you can let her get away with it?
Well, it's a risk.
Not if you pick your time carefully. You could drop by with a couple of mates. Cheer her up a bit.
Yeah. I might just do that.
You want to see me, Mrs. Davidson?
Yes, Mr. Fletcher. These rosters indicate that you're trying to run Wentworth single-handed.
Not quite.
Well, near enough. Are all these double shifts necessary?
Somebody has to do them. You know how short-staffed we are.
But you have been doing this since before we were short-staffed.
I don't mind. Nothing much else to do.
Then you must find something else. I do appreciate your dedication, but I would not appreciate your dropping at my feet, and that is a possibility, the way you're pushing yourself. I'm sorry, Jim, but as a friend, I have to say one thing. You must forget about the past before it wipes you out.
Be no great loss, would it?
Well, we think differently around here.
Thanks.
You must get out and about. Try and meet more people. Don't give up just because you didn't get the Barnhurst job.
Well, that's the luck of the draw.
But it wasn't your last chance. There will be other opportunities. You're a good officer. Sooner or later, something worthwhile will come along. So in the meantime, would you please try not to work yourself to death? They'll blame me, you know.
Why don't you pull the other one?
Come on, Bea. Tracey was conned by Joe. He sent her to Thailand to pick up a suitcase she thought she was carrying gold.
Oh, but surprise, surprise, it turned out to be $500,000 worth of heroin. Have you any idea how many kids that could hook?
I am trying to tell you she didn't know what she was doing.
Oh, sure. She didn't know the suitcase was loaded.
She would have known it was gold, because gold would have been much heavier.
Oh, she knew she was carrying drugs. Why smuggle gold? You can buy that anywhere if you've got the dough.
Yeah, okay. She was stupid. She was so stupid she didn't even know she was a courier. She thought it was all a big joke. She just decided to go along with it, don't you know that? Her boyfriend, she loves him. She thought she'd do anything for him. She didn't even go to the police when she got caught. It was all a mistake.
It was a mistake, all right.
Listen, Bea, I'm trying to tell you she was set up. You know when she got out on bail, she went to him, you know what he did?
Paid her off.
Tried to have her killed. McNally doesn't want her in the witness box.
Gee, do you believe that? You're like Shirley Temple. You'd believe anything.
Look, she's been through a lot of trouble. Now, will you leave her alone?
I won't have to bother. I'll just stand in the queue.
What queue?
Margot gets first bash. She helps set her up. And Margot's had time in the pound she wants to work out of her system.
That's bull. Tracey's terrified of Kay.
Well, now she can be terrified of Margot.
Margot's going to make a move on the Morris kid.
You never heard it from me.
Serves her right. She had no right being in here with us anyway.
Oh, come on, do it. I don't know what makes you think this place is so exclusive.
Oh, you know what I mean.
Well, I feel a bit sorry for that poor little kid. She's not the first one to end up in here over a bloke.
Oh, God, another member of the Shirley Temple Club.
What did you have?
Shepherd's pie, made from very old shepherds.
Lucky I missed out, I think.
Do you cook for yourself, Jim?
Nah, hardly seems worthwhile. Cooking for one. What about you?
Oh, I do now, but I didn't for a long time.
After you lost Bill?
Mm-hmm.
Meg, how long did it take you to pick up the pieces?
Oh, a while. I used to talk to myself. No, not to myself. At myself. Come on, Meg. Get moving. Do this. Do that. Oh, it still gets bad at Christmas and holidays, but most of the time I'm fine.
Does it ever stop hurting?
In time. The thing is, Jim, you've got to psych yourself into a fresh start.
Yeah, well, Mrs. Davidson's been having a go at me over the rosters.
Yes, I should hope so.
No, mine, not yours.
Look, you're spending more time here than you do at home.
Well, that's the idea, isn't it?
You'll end up like Vera, Jim, spending most of your life at Wentworth and feeling put upon the whole time.
Oh, please, anything but that.
Well, it's up to you, Jim. Now, what you've got to do is go out and enjoy yourself whilst you can. Anyway, that's Mrs. Jackson's advice. Oh, would you like a coffee?
Yeah, thanks, mate.
If the screws see us, we thought it was this corridor, right?
What's that?
Miss Bennett, open up at once. Well now, but isn't Daddy's little girl? Friend of Kay White's, weren't you?
No.
Helped her to set me up, didn't you?
No.
Who gave her the drugs to gamble with?
I didn't.
How'd you like to join your friend, Kay? Come on, cut out the rough stuff. Listen, shove off. This is none of your business.
You heard me. Cut it out.
I've got no fight with you, Kath.
No, don't push it then.
Okay. Okay. There'll be other times.
Thanks, Kathleen.
Don't worry about it. I'll get paid for it.
Not by Joe, you're not.
It was his lot who hired me.
I think you'll find he's fired you. I saw him when they let me out. The great lover had lined up a thug to kill me.
I don't get it.
Well, he was afraid I'd talk to the police, which is exactly what I've done.
You know who it is, the little rich girl? I don't need to mention names. What about the one we planted at Wentworth? Mm-hmm. Is she still there? Good. Well, I've got a little job for her.
Didn't have to go pushing drugs, did she? It's not as though she needed the dough. I heard her old man's supposed to be loaded.
Give it a rest, Doreen.
Oh, what's wrong with you? All of a sudden, I'm not worth listening to. Not like Tracey Morris and her big crim connections.
Shut up.
She what?
Came in like a bloody windmill. Wouldn't let us touch her. We had the bitch cornered until Kathleen did her big rescue act.
What's gotten to her?
Beats me. Unless the little smart-ass bribed her with laughing lollies.
B wants you.
I'm busy.
You know what I reckon? Get over there before she comes over here.
I hear you've got a little problem, Cass. I hear you can't mind your own business. Now, what's got into you?
Gaffney, what are you doing in here? You're supposed to be washing the floors.
I was just going, Miss Bennett.
I'll see you make up for that wasted time. Why aren't you working, Smith? Leach, there's someone to see you. Well, hurry up. I haven't got all day.
Hi, Kath. How you going? I guess you're surprised I fronted up.
Yeah.
Well, give us a kiss or the lady here will think we've never met before.
No physical contact. You should know the rules by now, Leach.
Sure, that's okay. I didn't know, did I?
Well, you know now.
Saw a few of the old gang last night, Kath. Joe sends his love.
Joe who?
You remember Joe and his mate Sean?
Oh, yeah. How is Joe?
Fine, fine. You want to smoke?
Can't you read? Look.
Okay, so I'll give her one for later.
You can't pass things to the prisoners.
Just one fag. Where's the harm in that?
Oh, go on, Miss Bennett. Just one for after.
Just one.
Good on you, miss. Your blood's worth bottle.
Thanks.
So how you going? All right?
Yeah. Real good. Thanks.
Sign out where you signed in.
What did I say my name was?
You didn't give a false name.
It's only having you on. Thanks for the visit, miss. You've been a real sport.
Hey, what have you been up to?
I think I'm getting soft in my old age. I let him give Leach a cigarette.
You're all heart, Vera.
Well, I checked them first, of course.
Oh, of course.
I don't think that's funny.
Have a look at these. These aren't very funny either.
Oh, well, there goes most of my free time.
Yes, it's brought my social life to a screeching halt.
Did you have plans?
Well, I would have liked...
Did you have a date?
No. Lead a very quiet life, Vera.
Well, I was thinking of asking you round. How about dinner tonight?
Well, actually, I was looking forward to going home.
Look, just a quiet evening. But it'll be a while before either of us can socialise again.
All right. That'd be nice.
Good. Well, let's see the roster. There might be someone else free tonight.
Ah, now where was I before I was so rudely interrupted?
I've got to talk to you, Bea.
You're telling me you do. What's this save the pusher business? They are not an endangered species, you know.
I can explain that.
Go on, scramble it.
I don't have to go.
Push off, Doreen.
I get it. It's about that Tracey creep, and I'm not supposed to know.
Lizzie, will you get her off my back? Oh, come on, love.
No.
Now, this better be good.
It's like this. I copped a sentence to get back inside again. Well, the money was good. And the idea was to keep an eye on Tracey Morris.
Who paid off?
Joe Vella for Sean McNally.
McNally, the syndicate bloke? Shush, be buggered. You mean those big boys paid you to protect Tracey?
You don't understand. I don't have to anymore.
Well, lucky you.
I don't call it lucky. Now they want me to stop her from testifying.
Well, bugger off. Well, good. It'll save me from doing it.
I bet I couldn't do that. What do you reckon I am, knocking off kids?
The stuff she peddles knocks off kids. And I'm thinking of one kid in particular who used to come in here with festering needle marks on her arms, crying to me for help.
I've only got a week to go. If I fix Tracey, I'll get life.
And if you don't?
McNally will fix me.
Well, serves you right for mucking around with pushers you know better than those bludgers.
But, Bea, what am I going to do?
Get out of my way, for starters.
Yours sincerely, Meg Jackson. Don't forget to read the fine print before you sign.
You're chirpy tonight.
Yes, it's getting away from this place.
Yes, I know what you mean. You going out tonight?
Oh, as a matter of fact, I've been invited out to dinner.
Good on you.
Oh, Jim, are you doing anything this evening?
Well, yes, as a matter of fact, I am. I'm cutting loose. I don't know how exactly. I'm sort of a bit out of touch, but I'm certainly going to try.
Oh, dear. Jim Fletcher rides again.
Mm-hmm.
We thought you might like a home-cooked meal.
No, well, thanks all the same, ladies, but home cooking is not what I've got in mind for tonight. See ya.
Oh, that's good. Nice to see him out and about again.
Seems we're not good enough. He's above socialising with the staff.
Had enough?
Yeah, switch it over.
There's got to be something better on than that.
Leave it.
Why? It's about computers, for crying out loud.
For heaven's sake, Dor, you don't understand that.
Yes, I do. I'm not stupid, you know.
Oh, I thought you'd be keeping an eye on your girlfriend.
Cut it out, will you, Pete?
OK, but I don't want to hear any more crap about Tracey Morris not knowing what she was doing.
Now she's going to court to tell them she's been used and who used her.
You're the one that's being used.
Listen, if she had the drug people on side, then why is everybody trying to kill her? I mean, first her boyfriend, then McNally. And you heard Kathleen. She was told it'd stop her from testifying.
That doesn't mean her hands are clean.
Oh, come off it. What if it was your own daughter?
My daughter wouldn't be a pusher.
If your daughter was hooked, she'd do anything the bastards wanted her to do. You know that? Sure, Tracey was hooked. Not on drugs, though. She's hooked on a guy she thought was Christmas. Oh, she was used, just like your daughter was used.
She brought drugs into Wentworth. Now, no one made her do that.
You don't know that for sure. Now, if that's true, okay, she's yours. But until you know that for sure, why don't you call off your heavies, huh? Bea, if you have Tracey killed, you gotta live with that, you know that? And how do you think you're gonna feel when you find out that the only crime she committed was that she didn't know what she was doing? Hey, you know what young girls are like. You ought to know.
Yeah, maybe.
Please call off, Margot.
Maybe.
Sorry, it's just you and me.
Don't be silly.
You're a good friend, Meg. Sometimes I think my only friend.
Oh, you get on quite well with the rest of the staff, don't you?
No, I don't.
Well, you should go out and find yourself some new friends.
I know. I should join something. Well, I'm not a joiner. That's what my mother used to say. Vera's not a joiner. Only she made damn sure.
She's not here now, Vera. You can be what you want to be.
Miss Australia? Why be cheap? Let's make it Miss World.
I meant something intelligent.
Don't you ever get lonely, Meg? I mean, sick of the same four walls?
Not if they're my four walls.
Well, you're still attractive to men, though.
past it. Oh, do we need some more wine? I'd rather have a coffee. You'll get married again. I know I'll never get married. Well, do you want to that much? Of course I want to. It's not for... It's just having someone care about what happens to you. I know I can't be anything but what that damn prison's made me. There's got to be someone before I'm old and... Well, I don't want to end up being vinegar tits all my life. Vera, you'll never find a new man by crying into your claret. Now, I can only tell you what I told Jim. You've got to psych yourself into a fresh start. Go out and find new friends. Be a new Vera. Really? Well, you saw Jim. Now, if he can start over again, so can you. Oh. Here's to a new start.
Not dancing?
No, I seem to have forgotten how.
Same again?
Yes, thanks. Look, is it just the lighting? Are they really just out of primary school?
Average age 16, I'd say.
16? You're kidding.
16 going on 30, most of them.
And then he said to me, just move into the van, baby. But you should have seen it. It was all done up like one of those four-poster beds. Right.
16 going on 25.
Well, what are you drinking?
I'll have a bazooka.
Okay, that'll be 2 bazookas, please.
I thought a bazooka was an anti-tank weapon.
Wow, World War II. How do you do?
Fair go. Vietnam, please.
Wasn't that World War II?
2 bazookas.
Thank you. What's a bazooka?
Who cares? They don't know any more than I do.
A gin and tonic, please.
Right.
Go on, Jan?
Well, as of the last 10 minutes.
Oh, that's great. I knew the evening had to improve.
Oh, I thought you were giving kindergarten lessons.
Yes, well... what's a nice girl like you?
Sheer ignorance. What brought you?
Same reason. Tell me, where do grown-ups go for a drink these days?
Well, I know a bar down the street that's almost adults only.
Jim Fletcher.
Janice McDuff.
Well, lead on, McDuff.
Have fun, people.
This kid Tracey, you must have got to know her when I was in the pound. What do you think? Do you reckon she is the bunny?
Sounds like it to me, Bea. She's pretty stupid, but she is only a kid.
But she must have known she was carrying dope.
I don't reckon it would have crossed her mind.
Oh, that's right. Take her side, why don't you?
I'm not taking any sides. I'm just trying to nut this thing out.
She's been making trouble ever since she came here.
You don't have to make trouble to be in it. Not around here, anyway.
Well, that's true enough.
If she was real cunning, she could have kept out of strife. I reckon, like you said, Bea, she is the bunny.
Oh, she's too smart for you, for starters. Got all of you conned, hasn't she? But I've been watching her. Butter wouldn't melt in her mouth.
Now,
oh, no.
What's she done to you?
Well, she's turned all my friends against me, that's for one thing. Well, no one will give me the time of day around here anymore just because of her. I know what she's like.
Go to sleep, Doreen.
Oh, so you can all whisper behind me back.
Are you going to talk to her, Bea?
I don't know. I suppose it's the only way to straighten this thing out.
She'll talk you out of it.
No, she won't. Not me, she won't.
Morning. Vera, are you all right? Oh, Meg, I'm sorry I didn't hear you come in. I nearly didn't. What a shame, we're both on early shift. Meg, I have a feeling I made a fool of myself last night. Rubbish! It was a beautiful dinner. In fact, I've been meaning to ask you... Look, I'm not talking about that. I had too much to drink. I'm not used to it. Was I being silly? Silly? No, of course not. I'd hate to think that two friends having a heart-to-heart was being silly.
Morning, ladies. Ready for another day of it, are we?
you have to make so much noise?
Well, somebody enjoyed themselves last night.
Meg Jackson, you're a genius.
Well, what did I do to deserve it?
Well, you were right. I was so far out of touch, I didn't even know places like that existed.
You really went to a disco?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what happened?
Yeah, well, I went, but I didn't stay for very long. No, I was accused of being an antique because I didn't know what a bazooka was.
Well, it's a gun, isn't it?
No, it's a drink, you dear old thing.
Oh, for heaven's sake. I'll see the women get to the showers.
Same old smiling Vera. You ought to start on her next, Meg.
No, I'm really worried about her. I've never seen her so depressed.
Well, you'd probably be wasting your time anyway.
Possibly. Right, well, I'll get us a coffee, and then you can talk to me about last night.
Let's move on. Smith, Burns, Birdsworth to the showers.
Oh, you look as if you had a hard night. Half your luck.
Got a bit of a headache, Miss Bennett.
Listen, you two go on without me.
Why?
Because I say so, that's why.
Come on, Morris.
Oh, don't. Keep away, please.
Will you settle down? I just want some information. Who gave the dope to Kay White?
I didn't give her any drugs.
Nothing?
Money, that's all.
And why the hell should you give her money?
She said that she'd protect me, that everyone was after me.
Where'd the money come from?
Kathleen Leach brought it in.
Oh, yeah, she said she was sent in here to protect you. Your boyfriend sent her?
It's not my boyfriend anymore.
You sure know how to pick 'em, kid. Are you sure you didn't send drugs in as well? They weren't jelly beans Kay White was handing out.
I gave her money, that's all. I don't know where she got the drugs from.
You and Kay were pretty close, though.
I thought I was safe with her. I'm not safe at all, am I? You and Doreen and Margot, you're all after me. And I haven't done anything to any of you.
Not deliberately.
I was wondering where you were, Smith. Up to your old tricks again, eh? She laid a hand on you?
No, she hasn't.
Threatened you in any way?
No, Mr. Fletcher.
Just warming up to it, eh, Smith?
Just discussing the finer points of the penal system, Mr. Fletcher.
Get to your showers, quick, smart. You'll be taken to your shower once the women are at work.
Gaffney, you're off cleaning. Leach, you'll take her place. What am I supposed to do? You're supposed to do as you're told. It's the laundry for you.
Oh,
now, come on,
great.
all of you, get moving. Leach, your first job is to empty all the bins, and then you can report back to me. Laundry? How am I supposed to get around being stuck in the laundry?
What's the matter? Don't you love us anymore?
Yeah, but how am I supposed to get at that Morris bitch if I'm lumbered with the laundry?
Forget that.
After what she did to me?
Kay White set you up.
But you said they had to be in it together.
I don't care what I said. Forget it.
What's going on?
Yeah, what's going on? Oh, that's right. Don't bother about me. Nobody tells me anything anymore.
I'll tell you one thing, Doreen. If you don't lay off, you and me are going to have words. Now, I know you've had a rough time, but I am fed up to here with your whinging.
Hey, you know a Kathleen Leach?
Yeah? What's it to you?
Just give her this.
Sorry, no one home. Try next door.
B, you gotta help me. Look.
Use what?
Came with this just now.
Well, you get that out of here at the screw scene. That you'll both be in trouble.
What'll I do? I couldn't knife anybody.
Did this come from McNally's mob?
Has to be.
Well, I think you're in big trouble.
Well, if I don't kill Tracey, they're gonna kill me.
You should choose your friends more carefully, shouldn't you?
We'll have to go to the screws then.
Oh, we'll go straight to the cops. And when McNally hears you've talked...
Well, what'll I do?
Well, as I said, you've got two choices. You could carve the kid up, which I don't suggest, or you could put yourself out of action.
What? Kill myself?
I didn't say that. I said put yourself out of action. decent stab wound should do it. Land you in hospital for a while, out of the line of fire. They can't blame you for not doing the job then.
Oh, and you call that a solution?
Then you think of something better and get that knife out of here.
She looks sick. What's she want?
Nothing. Personal matter.
Yes, I was wondering if you had a table for two available for Friday night.
No phone at home?
Yes. You know, Vera, that really would have got me going once. I think Meg was right. You ought to have a word with her.
What, about going out?
Yeah. Yes? Terrific. Thank you very much. Fletcher. Right, yes, I'll be there by 8. Thank you.
You know we don't encourage personal calls in working time.
We don't encourage anything in this place, Vera. That's the trouble.
What's come over you?
A sharp attack of common sense.
Well, it certainly doesn't sound like it.
All work and no play, Vera. It's no good. I mean, who gives a damn if I waste my life away in here? Certainly the department doesn't.
Well, at least we've got the satisfaction of a job well done.
Big deal. You know what the trouble with us, Vera? We think we're the inmates. We forget that we can walk out of this place whenever we like.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jim. I've had this headache all day.
Well, it's no wonder this place is probably getting to you. You ought to get out more. You know, I had to force myself to go out last night. You got no idea what an effort it was.
Don't I?
But I had the time of my life. I mean, it's done me a hell of a lot more good than the satisfaction of a job well done.
Well, it's easier for men.
Well, not for me, it's not. I mean, you ought to develop some other interests. This place, it's so depressing. You've got to have a safety valve. Get out of your rut while you can.
Well, there's not much chance of that with the rosters you've drawn up for next week.
Oh, yeah, that reminds me. Got to make a change to that roster.
I had a go and I can't do it.
You didn't hurt the kid, did you? You know I advised against that.
No, I couldn't even get near her. She was fast asleep, bloody babe in the woods.
What's a hick man? You got a long way to go, Kathleen.
Yeah, well, some of us have got it and some of us haven't.
I hear McNally's got heaps.
What am I going to do?
I told you before, get yourself hurt, make yourself an alibi.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't do it right. I'd probably miss or kill myself.
Maybe I should do you a favour and knock you around a bit. But then they'd just land me back in the pound. I think I've had enough of that.
Can't you think of something else?
I'm thinking. Oh, and you've been a bit naughty, you know, playing in the gutter with pushers. Don't deserve to get off scot-free.
Yeah, well, I didn't know they were going to ask me to kill somebody.
Anyway, there's a way I can help you. Grab the sheet off the press me, will you?
Oh, sure.